Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. Yeah, everyone. Wow, started off with the tongue twister already. So
Every
I
bun,
actually
every dinner roll.
every dinner roll, every wheat bread, every concha, every sweet bun, every pork bun, every bun. No, no.
Work.
So something that
Oh no.
what what happened? What's oh no?
Wait, is it back?
What's back?
My audio went off completely. Couldn't hear you. Just and it said I was offline.
Everything. I mean, I can hear you. I heard you this whole time, but
For me, it was the opposite.
okay. Well, hopefully it recorded. Uh, it came to my attention that actually we have to kind of evolve with the times, and so instead of saying hello, ladies and gentlemen, there are people who are neither or both. So I think it's just more appropriate to say hello, everyone. And if you're watching this before you watch any of our other videos, just know that that was way before. So yeah, so we are trying to stay with the times, trying to stay current, try to keep everyone what's the word, involved, I guess. We just want to be a lot more we want to incorporate as many people as we can.
Is the term inclusive? No.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for. Inclusive. So we apologize for any of our past videos. Just saying, ladies and gentlemen, we thought we were being a little bit different, or at least I'm the one always doing the intro. So I thought I was being a little bit different from everyone just going, hey, what's up, guys? It's YouTube. Um, but I think it's just
YouTube
more
itself.
it's more it's more I think it's just more inclusive to just say, hey, what's up, everybody? So without further ado, it is February 17th, Thursday, 2022. Howard, what have you been up to?
Well, I suppose I can piggyback off a subject matter that we discussed previously, and that was I was in the process of receiving my Xbox in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
So considering that we've talked about the whole our ecosystem is primarily PlayStation, so I dived into a little. I've had it for a few weeks now, so I've dived into the library with the whole taking advantage with the whole Game Pass $1 deal. So I got into that, and I'll just reaffirm what I've already told Gabriel like on the side, and that's been that it's precisely what I expected the experience to be. It definitely Game Pass is um I don't want it. I have used the term already, so I kind of already shot myself in the foot regarding like the type of praise I've given Game Pass. But I suppose as someone who doesn't really have access to every single third party game right now, and that's that it is a little bit of a godsend in regards to like having accessibility to certain games, but at the same time it doesn't feel like I've told Gabriel this, it doesn't feel like a Sony killer of any kind. I understand now fully the hype behind Game Pass because it's now allowed me to play games like Psychonauts 2, even though it's also on PlayStation 4, but in terms of next generation, it's primarily on the Xbox side of things. So since it's allowed me to dive into certain a library that I didn't have access to previously, that's what it's precisely fulfilled that niche. So I suppose it's like what good news that it does exactly that. It's not something I had to be worried about regarding, oh, it's going to replace everything else. It doesn't. It's now a nice extension to the repertoire of accessibility. So in terms of
Well, accessibility for you.
yeah,
Not everybody owns an
not ever.
Xbox, a PlayStation, a Nintendo Switch, Mac, a I don't know. I don't even know how many other consoles you have, but for you, I guess it adds to that resume.
Yeah, I mean, what else? It represents all one.
Hairo's very rich. Just letting you all know. Hairo's like the human Mexican version of Richie Rich. He has it all. You name it, he's got it.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say I don't have a blank check. But that's a completely different reference with the same actor.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, that's how rich he is. That he knows
Says the guy who
everything.
says Richie Rich as a reference.
Anyways, uh, okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, I don't have an Xbox. I can't afford an Xbox. Uh, I'm stuck with my PlayStation 5. I haven't really touched it. What else have you been up to though? Besides, buying up Microsoft stock too.
What has happened? Oh, been a bunch of that previously we discussed an acquisition, and then another acquisition happened. I think literally the next day, or was it like just a few days afterwards?
Which one?
The Sony Bungie, even though I don't think it's as the
Yeah,
magnitude doesn't hold candle towards the other acquisition.
Activision, but well, that is what it is.
I mean, oh,
Um,
I was gonna say no. Wait, what? Oh, wait, you're right.
uh, I haven't been much. I've had much. I can't. Well, I mean, I apparently lost my ability to speak since the last
No.
month that we've recorded. I can't speak English anymore. Everything that's coming out of my mouth is gobbledygook.
Hmm.
I haven't really been much. My God, I haven't been up too much. Jesus fucking Christ.
Right.
I've only been playing PlayStation with Hyro, which is basically Grand Theft Auto 5, some Battlefield here and there. My go-to game right now is Binding of Isaac.
On
Uh,
every platform ever.
on at this point, every platform. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten on more platforms than Resident Evil 4 just yet, but I think I'm getting to that point. Um, but yeah, I'll come home from nursing school, which is an 8-hour thing, and it's kind of a lot. It kind of it takes out a lot of you. For those of you who are also in nursing school or medical school or in any sort of program that really just is accelerated and throws a lot at you, you probably know how just like you come home and you're just like fuck me. And especially for those of us who go to school and work, I'm sure you guys know exactly that feeling of just like I wish I had more time to just do something for me. So I haven't really been doing shit except either come home, I'll play one game of Binding of Isaac. As soon as I die, okay, on to either homework or study or rest or whatever. I've also started seeing someone new, which is also taking up some time, but I try to schedule that whenever I can, as opposed to out of a necessity. Because I know there's certain people that tend to kind of just do shit because they're like, I feel like I have to do this. Like, oh, you meet someone new and you have to be like, I feel like I have to meet them. For me, it's like I have time. Okay, I've already done everything else I'm supposed to. Just like this right now when I'm recording, even this podcast is kind of like, okay, like I have the time. Let's fucking do it. Um, but yeah, in terms of like video games and movies and that, movies. For those of you who are well, not associated, sorry, but familiar with the Oscars or Grammys or Golden Globes. I don't know which one it is. How you can look this up while I'm talking. The Grauman Chinese Theater. There is an award season that happens there, but I actually got to visit for the first time, and I went to go see Scream, that new movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's very much like the first one, and I really liked the first one, so I really liked this Scream 4, I think is what it is, or Scream 5. It's a reboot. Um,
It's the fifth installment. Yes.
fifth installment. Okay. So yeah, I got to go to the Grauman Chinese Theater, which, if anyone's familiar, is an award season that I'm sure Haru will tell us as soon as he figures it out. But it was kind of cool because it's like this historical like landmark, right, for movies and award shows or whatnot, and it was kind of cool to kind of be in there. But at the same time, it was also very lackluster because it's so basic. It really is just a big auditorium, and then there's like some little rinky-dink movie theaters that I think I told Hiro kind of remind me of the movie theaters that used to be at the mall before they renovated. So like now at the mall we have like at least like we have shitty screens, but at least we have like nice leather seats to sit in. These don't even have that. They still have that weird like upright car seat like fabric thing.
Can I
Uh
quickly say, like, what you considering that you just brought up those old theaters that we knew about at the mall? Do you remember the very first time our local mall renovated our theaters and how kind of like the juxtaposition of like moving forward, but also retaining the, how do you call it, the low
that
qualityness?
feeling of antiquity.
Because we were like impressed. Oh, nice reclining leather seats, and then the movie starts. Remember the stain on the screen?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to share because the way you were describing it took me back a little bit in regards to the experience of,
Well,
oh
okay.
wow.
Well, that stain on the screen is basically what the theater I was in for Scream was like but the entire theater, even like the little like Chinese lights that they had,
Right.
like there's these hanging I don't know what they're, I guess they're lanterns kind of thing, but that style they had them all across the auditorium. Yeah, as any theater would, they all have their own lights, but for the Grauman's theater, it's a Chinese theater, of course it would be that style. Even those, they didn't look dim because it's like, oh, this is an intimate experience. No, they just look dim because it looks like no one has cleaned those or replaced the light bulbs in a long time. um I don't know, just everything seemed just super basic in there for something that was very historical. And I don't know, like I was of two minds. I was like, this is really cool. Like, this is a place that like they do a bunch of cool shit at. But on the other hand, it's kind of like, this is it. Like, this is the big deal. Um, and I think that's all I've really done in terms of like big like experiences. I'm not sure if I mentioned it last time, but I went to Disneyland too on a date. Got to do everything. I learned a lot. Apparently, there's a fucking crown jewel at the top of the castle. And if you didn't, if I mean, I'm sure I've kind of said it already, but I live in Southern California, so I'm talking about the Anaheim Disneyland, not the other cooler ones. But in the castle in Anaheim, apparently there's a jewel at the very top that's like a diamond or something that's worth like over 10 million or some bullshit. I remember learning that and thought, wow, my ticket paid for that. So, but then again, I got that same feeling when I paid like $25 for Avatar in 3D and I bought, James Cameron a sandwich. So
Which was the longest, probably one of our earliest, longest recurring jokes when we
yeah,
first met.
we just started saying that for everything though. Anytime we spent more than the average movie ticket, we were just like, wow, that just paid for insert director's name here is sandwich.
Yeah, because the second time at least for a year, I remember you transitioned from James Cameron to when we finally started buying our own movies when we were still in high school. I remember when you bought The Dark Knight, you were like, "There, I finally got to help Christopher Nolan buy
Yeah,
buy
I
a
got I,
sandwich."
I got him a sandwich.
Which at that point in 2011, I don't know if still got that residual. We probably did, right? Since you bought it.
Sure, he did. There was the 2 cents.
The two.
It
There
cost
we
it
go.
cost more to print that check than it did to cash it.
He was just mildly inconvenienced, if anything.
Just like I have to pay my assistant to go deposit this. I
Who
even said
knows?
that wrong. To go. I said Godot. Gal Gadot.
Wow, this whole time she was Christopher Nolan's assistant.
I don't know what's going on with me. I'm kind of tired, but not really. I don't know. I'm also going to clinicals right now, and it's kind of exhausting me a little bit. But uh, let's see what else. What else has happened in terms of pop culture wise?
Well,
PlayStation.
before we continue with that, I think I got your answer regarding the Chinese theater, and
Oh,
I believe you're right. You said it. I think it was one of your first guesses. You said the Academy Awards.
Oscars. Yeah,
Yeah, the
it's the
Oscars.
Oscars.
The
The Oscars are
Oscars.
there. Wow.
It says. Oh, at least the 16th annual one is it like at different venues every time?
Oh, the 16th. Oh shit, that was a long
That
time
is
ago.
says
That was a
yeah,
long time ago.
yeah. Okay, so
I
it's
thought they had
been
something like recurring there. I thought like,
recurring.
yeah.
Um,
Anyways, ah, well, whatever. You can look
it's
it up.
it's renowned. If you look it up,
It's a landmark for a reason.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just wish they treated it like one as opposed to this mall-looking thing. But uh, what else? What's happened in terms of pop culture that's really stayed with me? PlayStation bought Bungie, which to me is like it's nowhere near as big as Activision, but I think it's mostly
No,
because Activision has Call of Duty, which is like the biggest title it's got, as
yeah.
well as Overwatch and what's the other Blizzard game? Activision Blizzard?
Diablo,
No.
Activision Blizzard. What
Not Overwatch, Activision
World of
Blizzard.
Warcraft?
World of Warcraft, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit,
So it's
they
got
got
three
some.
big fucking
Yeah,
games. Whereas Bungie, yeah, great. They made Halo back then, but I think
yeah.
everybody's loving the new Halo and Bungie never touched that one. And they have Destiny, which I think has an incredible fan base, but I don't think the impact of who PlayStation bought Bungie is going to go anywhere near as far as
It
Activision.
doesn't have like the same cultural phenomenon Halo brought to the table.
Yeah, it doesn't have that same oomph
Mhm.
to that news. But I mean, it's starting to feel a lot like streaming services at this point. Streaming services were like, "Oh, we're gonna take this movie, and it's gonna be only exclusive to our streaming service." And all these different streaming services when they first started like popping up, they were all taking on exclusives. And oh, you want to watch this movie by so and so, you have to go to this service. Oh, you want so it's starting to seem a lot like that. Um, I'm not really down for exclusives, even if the PlayStation One right now has infinitely way better ones. I don't know, like one or two exclusives here and there, cool. But like once it like starts to become to the point where like, wow, I can't play any of those other games until I have to get an Xbox, or oh, I can't play any of these games because I have to get a PlayStation. I don't know. It just
Right.
seems like a lot more hassle, but companies make more money and fanboys are gonna fanboy. They're not even fanboys. Those are like the most toxic people. The ones that are like, "Ooh, PlayStation's fucking dead in the water." It's like, they're still making billions of dollars. Dead in the water bullshit. Um,
Tell me till they get to the point like where like not to like
oh, and then
sort
on
of.
top of that, apparently Activision is still gonna keep making Call of Duties for PlayStation.
Oh, I'm
So
glad you brought that up because why are there some? I don't know if you've caught wind of this, but why is there this weird margin of people upset about that confirmation?
because people are for some reason don't have, it's very much like Disney. People don't have a personality, so they have to replace it with something they own. For Disney people, it's the annual pass holder, and for PlayStation and Xbox fanboys, it's that console. They don't have a personality, so they have to become that company.
Oh my God, no wonder whenever like I'm on a either Twitter thread, not primarily a Twitter thread, it's 99% of the time whenever
Yeah,
I go under something, everywhere, whether it's an Xbox thread, a PlayStation thread, or even a Nintendo thread, like I'll just read, and it's always a carbon copy. Who cares? Xbox better. I'm like, what are
yeah,
you doing here?
yeah. If Xbox wins, I win. Oh, did you make money? Do you work for them? No, it's just I own one. Ah, well then, did you really win? It just means, oh, cool, something for your console.
It's so bizarre because it'll be under like
Or
a
people just argue for the dumbest shit
yeah,
too.
right.
They'll be like, aha, you don't have it. Be like, okay, all right. Sucks to be me, I guess. I don't know. I don't care.
Thanks for saying that randomly underneath a trailer for
I
Breath of the
know.
Wild 2. What are you literally even doing here? Like, cool, you have an opinion, but like you're saying it in the most irrelevant of times right now.
Yeah, and it's just people that don't have a personality, and they fill that hole in with something that they own. That's basically it. It's just like when you hear about like the Tarantino guys, or the Nolan guys, like the ones that they come out saying like he makes the greatest movies of all time, and then anyone that makes any sort of like, well, this last movie was so good. No, no, you're wrong. This kind of shit like that. Like I mean, I love Nolan. I loved Nolan until he made Tenet, whatever the fuck that was. And Dunkirk is a slow movie. It's good, but I would never say like, oh, it's one of his top tier movies.
Oh, really?
Tarantino, I did not care for that last movie. I mean, I watched it one time. Like, I'm good. What was that last movie?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Sorry, no, that was a good one. I like that movie.
Wait, he made another one after that?
No, before that. Sorry, I was
What was
thinking
before that?
the Play
Hateful Eight?
movie. That was like 3.5 hours with Tim Roth and
A
Samuel
play?
Jackson and Kurt Russell and his wife Brandy something,
A
whatever.
play movie?
It was like a play basically. It was a western that was in the form of a play is what he was trying to do, and there was even like an intermission in between it. What was that movie
Oh,
called?
so the Hateful
The
Eight.
Hateful Eight. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I didn't like that movie. People did, but like I'm not gonna be like defending him and
That
saying
movie
it was
did
the
feel
greatest
long.
movie. But you understand my point, right? Where like just
Mhm.
there's people that they don't have anything else to contribute in terms of themselves, so they fill in all those holes with things that they like. Things that you like do not make you who you are. I don't think. Like just because I like something doesn't mean, oh, I'm defined by this, right? Like no,
Yeah.
I just like it. It's cool. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not a philosopher.
No,
I don't know.
no, I get you because I've been sort of having obviously I've been exposed to with the whole recent literally anything game because again, just the other like tomorrow, like I can view something a quick advert for WarioWare and then someone at the bottom will put who cares? Dying Light 2's out. Like, okay, that's completely two different things.
Well, yeah, that is.
Uh, So I get
Can I kill
that.
zombies in this? No. Well,
I
then
don't. I don't want it.
it's worse than dying light. Then no, there's two different things. Buddy, it's yeah,
For
yeah.
me,
That is it is insane how much that almost annoys me as much as when people say brother on Instagram comments.
brother, like
Yeah,
like
when a
like a
celebrity posts
Hogan and
something,
Macho Man.
when celebrity posts something like, "Whoa, good job, brother!" Like Snoop Dogg is really reading that, going, "Oh yeah," like like it's just I don't know why that annoys me. Like, oh, more power, like power to you,
Oh
brother. Like The
yeah,
Rock is just
brother.
like working out. It's like, all right, dude. The Rock is looking at that and goes, "This is why I do those extra reps." That comment right there. I don't know why that bothers me. It's such a nothing thing, but when people are just like brother or like cuz or just like I don't know.
This
That
is the
bothers me
question.
more than when people are like, check out my mixtape or something to like musicians. I don't know why
Oh
that bothers.
yeah.
Like that's just. I mean, that's just a little. That's a little sad. But it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me as much as when people are like, "Yeah, brother, rock on, brother." It's just like, what are you
Or
doing?
the prayer hands, right? Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
prayer
thanks,
hands.
man. I've only
Like
made millions of dollars, but yes, I will keep up the good work. Thank you.
right.
But
For
yeah,
me,
no,
I've
it's
been
just
having the gripes with um comic book movies because it's always now it's kind of like pops up from the ground like a mole. Like they someone's got to pop up and say something negative. Like okay, I didn't expect. How is that even relevant whatsoever? Because uh, I don't know if you haven't watched Peacemaker, have you?
I haven't started it yet. I'm still watching Daredevil.
You went backwards.
Yeah, I did.
You went to where it all started.
Well, they're
Um,
getting rid of Daredevil. Don't know where it's going to be. I'm sure by next month this information will be outdated and it'll be somewhere. But
it'll either be
yeah, but
somewhere,
I'm watching all the Marvel Netflix shows, or trying to at least trying to get as far as I can. But I know Daredevil is the best one, so I wanted to give that one a rewatch. But anyways, yeah. So the Peacemaker thing,
right? I watched the finale literally this morning. Like,
which I got spoiled for, people
oh,
posted
you did?
pictures.
I still won't talk about it, like precisely what that spoiler is, but
No, because we're decent human beings.
right. I liked the way it was handled. I liked the episode. It was a great. It tied all, at least for this particular, 8 episodes. It tied up all the loose ends. It progressed the Peacemaker character. It was great. It was just a fun time overall, and I thought nothing of it. And I actually saw one reference to, a pretty big moment that happens that's in the spoiler territory. So when I saw that, I was on the same terms with it. And like, oh, cool, we're on the same. I'm not alone. But then as the day progressed, like I was out and about and just still going on Twitter. It's insane to me that like how many attacks like James Gunn got regarding matters that like perhaps didn't pertain to him whatsoever. And it sucks that I can't be more specific because then it'll involve spoilers.
Yeah,
But I could only maybe I can backtrack into something that's not out, so I can't speak quote unquote be spoiler free, but also spoil because it's out in the public. So it's sort of similar with the whole upcoming Doctor Strange movie and the whole I don't know if you've been seeing this and it bothered the shit out of me as a designer, but the whole Deadpool's in the movie. If you zoom in here and he's on the reflection, I'm like I got like I wanted to get like an aneurysm. Like, 'cause I don't know if you've seen this, dude. It's just a speck of fucking dust.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
just two white specks.
Someone
Those
someone
are
posted a picture
his eyes. I'm
presuming
like,
it's Deadpool, and I looked and I'm like, I don't see it at all,
it's
even though
not.
it's zoomed in.
All you have to do is turn it slightly 80 degrees, and it's just fucking specks of nothing.
But this goes back to what we were talking. This wasn't even in our last podcast, but this goes back to what we were talking about a long time ago when we were playing Battlefield, where after
Mm.
we saw Spider-Man,
You couldn't just enjoy
the
it.
smallest things are suddenly a
Yeah,
teaser for a brand new movie or a brand new series 10 years later.
yeah, yeah. It's nothing can be enjoyed. Nothing, everything's a dissection, whether for the quote unquote good, like you said, it's an Easter egg for something coming out soon, or it's just something severely negative that's literally not part of the equation, and it's just absurd to me, dude. Is
Yeah.
this is not
same coffee cup that Tobey Maguire held is also in Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, or maybe it's just the same, set company, but whatever. It's little things like that. Yeah, I get it. There's just, especially
Okay,
for a movie that hasn't come out yet.
if it is so and so, like hell, it's already out there with the whole Super Bowl trailer, but I still won't say it. Let's say it is so and so. Let it be him. Let's just wait and see. Isn't that gonna be fun? I'm sure it is, but we can't even have that. It's always gotta be. We gotta know now. Then
Yeah,
how's that a surprise? Would they have an answer for that?
don't know. Don't care. When I'll see the movie, I'll give a shit. But until then, don't care.
Right. It's yeah. So for even though it's always been like a prevalent thing, toxic fanboys, however you want to put it, for some reason for me it's been very more aggravating. Like I had it
Yeah,
again this morning.
it really is. Like, if especially when, because at this point in time, it's no secret that every social media is tailored towards what you've been liking and disliking. So for me, it's, for Hyro, it's all comic books, and for me, it's all porn. But at least for Hyro, like, I can understand where it's just a bunch of shit like that. Because there was a point where on my Instagram feed too, it was just like the Discover was nothing but, oh, we saw Speck of Green, hint for She-Hulk. And it's like, it was a green blanket, but okay, all
Do you
right.
remember the balls some of these pages had? It's done. It's a done deal. Amazing Spider-Man 3 is coming.
Yeah.
Who though? Are you
Who
Kevin
told you?
Feige's personal assistant or something, or what?
Even Kevin Feige doesn't know, and he's already like, "Oh shit, I guess it's confirmed."
I couldn't
uh,
believe it. Like the fucking audacity to just straight up put it as dude, they would straight up put breaking news,
yeah.
confirmed, official.
Well, I mean, it's all for the clicks and shit, but it is aggravating to just see that, where it's just like, dude, like, I don't, in a weird way, I don't understand why that annoys me, because I can easily ignore it, but it's there and it bothers me, and I know it's for a reason. It's there to get clicks. It's there for you, for people to engage with that post, but I don't know why it aggravates me so, because it's so just like it's confirmed, and it's not even something I give a shit about. If Amazing Spider-Man 3 came out, I wouldn't care, because I hated the first two ones. I
Yeah,
did not care for them. If that third one comes out, whatever. I don't care. I still won't care.
I like your
But
little, I like your little linger. Whatever.
whatever. But I don't know why it's just shit like that. It's just like, you can't just, not post something stupid like that. You can't not
Right.
post lies. I don't know.
If I were
But
to dissect it a little bit, I think I know what it is. It's far fetched, but I suppose it boils down to just the extremism behind it all. You know the
for sure.
whole, you know the whole what's the term now? I know a new term for it came about regarding, with the whole movement restore the Snyderverse, and then the whole how they bombard reviews of other Warner Brothers like films.
Yeah.
Like they'll review bomb it, I believe that's the term, where they'll just negatively review it, like leave like a 1 star review or 0 star,
Yeah. For no
however
reason, just because. Yeah.
they want to quote unquote restore the Snyderverse. I
Yeah.
think I think that's the inherent fear now, perhaps quote unquote fear. Like I say that loosely because this is all pertaining to comic book movies, something that's not dire of sorts. So I suppose there is that inherent like level of concern regarding a type of extremism because let's say it becomes more prevalent, the whole blatant lie of confirming something's official. Oh, Amazing Spider-Man 3 is coming out. And then let's say that grows, like the magnitude and the group of people who believe in it, right? But then somehow when it has to come to confirming, what are you guys talking about? That's not real. Or is there going to be this non-existent backlash towards something that wasn't even fabricated to begin with? Are they going to go after Marvel Studios and like everyone now and Sony Pictures just because something one like a widespread, unnecessary widespread, not even a rumor, dude, just a blatant lie. Like, like what if they start review bombing upcoming MCU films just because Amazing Spider-Man 3 didn't come out? People start acting victimized, like Andrew Garfield's not getting his due. Like,
What does that have to do with Marvel though? Why would, if I posted something like that, like Amazing Spider-Man 3 confirmed,
yes,
and it's not confirmed, why would that fall on Marvel and not just on me being a piece of shit?
no, but I know this is again. That's why I said it's far fetched and it's probably not even a fathomable like thing to actually happen. But Like what? Let's say that like again, it's not a rumor. It's just a lie. It's literally not true. Let's say it does create such a massive influx. People actually believe somehow, some way of this one lonely Instagram account, believing that it is official. Amazing Spider-Man 3, like to the point where like Kevin Feige has to step in. I don't know where this came from. It's not happening.
Wow.
So you mean to tell me, like, what if they act, you know, again to the extreme?
You're basically saying like this whole thing could just be a massive ruse to bully someone into making it.
Yeah.
I doubt it. Just because Marvel's making so much money, they don't give a fuck.
Mm.
I highly doubt it. But I could see the potential fears. I doubt it though. I doubt that
I,
that's the reasoning. I think it's literally just because I want clicks and that's it. Period. Well,
I'm
people
glad.
get mad over something dumb like that. Absolutely, people have gotten mad over dumber. 100%. They had sex in Eternals. Oh my god. It's like, yeah. Well, how did you think you got here? But um,
That's good. That's pretty good.
but I guess in stuff that we can kind of sort of talk about without sort of spoiling it, but kind of relevant. Boba Fett. Speaking of Disney and Marvel and all that, the Book of Boba Fett just came out, and it's actually a series that we both watched from start to end.
Yes.
And what you think of it in general, if you can sum it up in like, a minute or two, your feelings of the Book of Boba.
For me, there's an immediate word because I saw someone else have share the same sentiment, and that's unnecessary. Because if initially when you told me we're gonna make a Boba Fett show, okay, cool. But now that it's come to fruition and this is the general direction they want to go to, it's almost borderline unnecessary because it it enhances other aspects of Star Wars minus Boba Fett.
I mean, there's two episodes without him, so yeah,
Three, isn't it three or two? No, it's
whatever.
two.
One is too many
Whatever.
as it is for a show that's
That is
about you.
that
So
is true.
one episode without you is already too much.
And it's the same feelings I had towards the Hawkeye show. It's just it does good things to enhance the the universe overall and other aspects minus Hawkeye.
Right.
It's just so weird. Like, okay, it's called this person insert person's name here, but you focus on other things entirely. Like, I mean, you could. I feel like you could do both. It's kind of crazy to me that they can't focus on both. It's just,
Oh, they
it's
did. They did it for Daredevil. They built a whole Marvel Netflix universe out of the odds that I'm watching that show too right now is that they can do a superhero show. And I mean, I've yet to see Peacemaker, but I don't think it'll beat out Daredevil. But
no,
Daredevil was such a fantastic show in that it really built a character and the world around him to the point where you gave a shit about everyone. You gave a shit about Foggy. You gave a shit about the King, Wilson Fisk, and his whole relationship with his like wife and like how he grew up. You gave a shit about, and not even that. It literally created a universe because from there, that's how we got Jessica Jones. That's how we got Luke Cage. It's how we got the Punisher. And they didn't do it in such a way that was so overt. It was very subtle. I didn't realize until now, but in episode two or three, or maybe one of the first episodes of the second season, if I'm not mistaken, Rosario Dawson's character, she straight up goes, "Believe me, I have another friend, but he's a lot stronger." And that's it. That's all she says. And that somehow already branches off into like, oh, like who is she talking about? And it wasn't so obvious. I'm like, here's a reference to another show, another movie, another character.
right.
Um, but yeah, it's
It's sewn together in a way better way where in
it's
these
just
new
one of those few shows.
shows.
You're right. That's just like, yeah, Daredevil was necessary to create something. You're right. Boba Fett was not. It didn't. It like what you were saying. Basically, it should not be impossible to create a show about a person and us giving a shit about them, and also give a shit about everyone around them. It shouldn't be impossible. Not just let's care about everyone but the main character.
That's what it straight up was.
Yeah, which is exactly what both Hawkeye and Boba Fett was.
And it sucks because I suppose we can't spoil this, but the show was an extension and teased that during Mandalorian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I even asked you like, "Oh, dude, is this like Crime Lord like Star Wars?" And when you kind of like got the same vibe, it kind of sucks because that's what I was anticipating,
Yeah.
and that's where the show initially
Someone
geared
someone on
towards.
Twitter had said Narcos Star Wars, right? Or something like
I,
that.
I that's how I thought it too. Like I love that. I love that. And it plants that seedling, initially, but then
It doesn't go anywhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
straight off the path is almost an
How
understatement.
much do you think Disney had an influence on that feel? Do you think we would have gotten a legit Narcos vibe if it had been on something like Netflix or I think Hulu's still owned by Disney, but like or like Amazon, basically something that isn't owned by Disney? Do you think we could have gotten a way darker, cooler Narcos vibe if Boba Fett went that route on a different platform? Do you like
Perhaps
basically do you think that Disney like really inhibited that growth, that feel?
yes, but not necessarily out of, oh, it's because of the Disney machine and the content wouldn't fit necessarily. It's more so they clearly don't give a shit over Boba in comparison to the Mandalorian. So if it was to be placed somewhere else on a different platform where you can create a bigger divide, which perhaps you can give, hints and cameos and references, you could still do that clearly. But once you create a bigger divide, it'll definitely allow it to be a little bit more isolated because considering that, it this really felt like a placeholder for Mando
Mm,
because when it came out, Mando would have been, in retrospect, Mando would have been that would have been the show because Mando always came out in the fall, in late October, December. But instead, we got Boba Fett. So now well, all things considered, sort of feels like a little bit of a placeholder.
mm. Oh,
So
I didn't care for it. I was like the first three episodes. I think like I'm sure I mentioned
I already
either
forgot
that
him.
or it was a fever dream. But the first three episodes could have easily been one episode if done correctly because they were such nothing episodes. It could have easily been like a good. How long were the episodes? 30 minutes, right?
30 to depending on the subject
Right.
matter.
So
Yeah.
those could have been easily like 1 hour right there, all three episodes, and then really focus on the I guess the politics, I guess, of more of like
Didn't we
and
discuss it
the
should have been a
crime
movie?
like just those first couple episodes it just could have been like a Disney Plus special, like an hour
Yeah,
and a
there we
half
go.
or something. Um but in general when I watched it, I was like, this was fine. And as time went on, I liked it less and less because I realized this isn't a show about Boba Fett as it is just like here's this character, blah. It's not even a placeholder. I feel like it kind of just it almost in a way for me, it definitely kind of destroyed the Mandalorian character because well, it didn't destroy him, but it definitely like kicked him down a few notches just because we know that this show takes place right after Mandalorian season 2.
Right.
And for one, I know Luke is still learning the Force and all that, but there's a point where he goes, you can only choose one, and then it's like, well, no, that's the reason. That's the reason we got Darth Vader in the beginning. Like for the reason your dad is evil is because of that dumbass choice. You either choose Padme or you choose the Jedi. Well, I love her. Well, sucks to be you. All right, well, I guess I'll go evil. No, wait. Um,
Oh shit.
and then we have that whole and because it happens right after Mandalorian season 2, it means the Mando didn't really go that long without Grogu, which a little bit of a
Okay.
spoiler alert. I do apologize, but let's just that whole season is worth watching. But I apologize in advance. But the fact that he didn't go that long without like so now like their reunion just felt rushed because technically it's not even Mando's show, it's Boba Fett's show. And it just kind of like, damn, like this could have been something that I could have waited for in season 3 of Mando.
So you mean to
Added
say like
more time as opposed to just like he's gone. I miss him
yeah.
already. He just left. It's like a dog, as soon as they see the owner leave, like okay, well I've been abandoned forever. Like no, your owner just went to work. It's not a big deal. No, he's gone forever. I can't wait for him. And then as soon as the owner comes back 8 hours later, like crying, it's just that's what it felt like. It's like all right, Mando, like that Grogu has not been gone that long. You can, take a breather. It's fine. That being said, though, the Mando episode was good, but once you kind of put it into context with like the rest of the universe, it's
Right.
just like you kind of ruined the character a little bit because now he's just like, what do you like?
The anticipation for season 3 now kind of feels a little bit watered down
Yeah,
because
because now you know, like, okay, well, they're back together now. Mando has a new ship. Like, there's all these new developments that happen in a Boba Fett show that could have easily been like super great moments in the Mando show.
Mando
And
show.
so it didn't even like, so not only did it do a disservice to Mando, I think it also did a disservice to Boba Fett because guess what everyone's going to be thinking about during the Boba Fett series, the Mando episodes. Who gives a shit about those first 3 episodes that Hyro can't even remember? Everyone's gonna remember the butcher scene where he uses that lightsaber, the dark was it dark saber?
Yeah, the dark saber.
Like no one's gonna remember the first 3 episodes. Who cares? We're all gonna remember that cool ass scene in the butcher shop where he accidentally cuts himself in the leg, and we finally have a realistic use of a lightsaber. You swear to God, like no one's cut themselves with that thing.
You want me to send
So
the point home even further, considering that you said no one's gonna remember but the Mando episode? You're right because when I came around that time to watch it for myself, and when I would have my sister ask me, "Oh, you're watching the Mandalorian?" It got to
yeah,
the point
there
where
you
it's not
go.
even referenced as the Book of Boba
The
Fett.
Boba Fett show.
It's
It's oh
just
that Mandalorian, huh?
like,
Yeah, it's basically the Mando 2.5 is what it is, and
yeah,
it is depressing that they really. I don't know. Like I don't know if I want to go as far as saying it's Boba Fett should have stayed a side character, but because the guy does a really good job. I don't know his name. I don't know the actor's name. Or look up
look it
the
up
actor's name.
quickly.
Tamora Morrison, maybe something like that. I don't know. He does a really great job as Boba Fett after all these years, and that more props to him that he came back to do the character and all that. But just I
Yeah,
think
you
the
nailed it.
writing, the really
Yeah,
oh cool. The writing really did him a disservice, and just in addition to all this, speaking of directors too, I don't think Robert Rodriguez is a great director. People are saying like, oh yeah, Star Wars should be silly. You know, like it's a show for kids, and I think that's a very easy
cop out answer
cop
to
out answer because you can still make something for kids and it can still be great. Like just because it's for kids doesn't necessarily mean it has to be terrible either. There's just a bunch of shit in his episode specifically that I remember going like, this is dumb. Like even for Star Wars, I was like, this is dumb, and I just don't think he's that great of a director anymore. I remember telling Hiro that, like, it just something about these episodes that he did feels super off. Like there was like this, I think his first episode maybe, and I might be totally wrong, but I feel like one of his episodes was the one where like they had that chase with the scooters, and that shit felt so slow.
yeah.
We're
His
gonna
his
go to maximum speeds of 1 mile an hour. Here we go. Like it's just, and that the final one was definitely directed by Robert Rodriguez too. The twirl was stupid. Whatever.
the what?
I get it. But like, I don't know, that whole battle was just something felt off about it. Like I was watching, I'm like, this is interesting, but then it also just went like it gave me that feel of like this is off. And then I remember someone on Twitter also said like, oh, people were talking shit on that last episode, like the rest of Star Wars wasn't silly. And then they show a scene of Han Solo running into stormtroopers in A New Hope, where he's like, oh, whoa, whoa. But like I feel like Han Solo put a lot of heart into that. Or sorry, Harrison Ford put a lot of heart into that. I think that scene mixed in with the rest of that movie, it mixed in well, as opposed to like whatever like Boba Fett as a show wasn't all that fun to begin with, and then he kind of put in more dumb cheesy moments, and then those cheesy moments are with people that you don't give a shit about. Like there's that guy with like the robot eye that's like I don't care. I don't even know your name. Uh I don't know, just in general, just not a good outing for Boba Fett, and that is
I have a
pretty
nitpicky
depressing.
since you brought that guy up, since it's part of the same group of characters that were in that episode. Uh, I guess suppose spoiler alert, but at least it's not a spoiler towards the story. There's a group of characters. You're right. Not even I remember his name or the rest of the people he's with. But I have a nitpicky thing that bothered me in terms of aesthetics.
Their face.
I hated their speedsters. I hated the colors.
They look like shit. They went super slow. They weren't even speedsters. Speedsters is a
What
fake
were
thing.
they?
I
Is it
don't
just a
know.
moped? Is it like the equivalent of a moped in
I
Star
think
Wars?
yeah, that's what it was. Little mopeds is what they were. Just
all colorful, all bright and colorful like that. Here you are, like doing
here's this tough
something.
gang. Anyways.
Yeah, maybe I will spoil this part, but I won't spoil the context of it. They had to be what's the term? They had to be low key arriving in Tatooine. So you mean to tell me you have to be on the down low and you're arriving in a group in these bright colored fucking things? How did they? Oh my god, it was absurd.
You get in trouble in Grand Theft Auto if you're not at least 2 cars behind a person.
They were
So
not. They were like in
they were.
huddled in a circle. They all got off together in sequence. I'm more bothered by that than the spin. I could give less of a shit about the twirl
um,
with the
yeah, it's
blasters.
just
So.
and the Rancor too. That part also for me gave me this weird mixture of this is supposed to look and feel super cool, but I'm just not getting it. I dig it, but I'm not getting that feeling you're trying to make me feel.
For me, it's the opposite. I am biased towards that one just because it gave me Pacific Rim vibes. Giant monster fights giant robot. So that one I
Uh,
will admit where like my
uh,
logic kind of flew out the window a little bit, just for a brief moment when I just see, the Rancor just ripping robots to shred, which is something I didn't anticipate to see. What the heck?
you're getting called.
Whoa.
Hey, hi.
Hello.
Hi, this is the IRS.
They
Calling
wanted.
for Jairo Kananana. Just fuck up your name too. You owe $300 million.
I actually got a straight up like nonsense call like that last week regarding the quote unquote my light bill.
Oh, wow.
And at first I thought it was legit only because my light bill situation is under someone else's name, but I take care of the payment. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna create the online profile. So it's kind of like a mixed mash of like information, like a little bit of mine, like since I created the profile itself, and but so when I get the call, I'm like, oh shit, did I do something wrong when I set it up? So that's I kind of went along with it. But the red immediate red flag was the dude telling me it's gonna get cut off at any moment right now. Like, what? Why?
Immediately,
Like,
you
okay,
put in the
so
wrong email.
do we want to give a minimum payment right now? And I just go, that's kind of odd. So at first, I still kind of went along with it only because, again, literally the day before I create this profile, and I thought, did I fuck up something on my part severely when creating it?
Yeah.
So I just go, wait, okay, tell me how much is the minimum because I do know in my head what's the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, $400. And I just go, huh, you don't say. $400. And I just go ask even further just to make sure because like I don't know why I was trying to like I don't know why at this point I had the benefit of the doubt, but at the same
Right.
time I also wasn't falling for it either.
No. Of course not.
So
We'll
I'm
take
just like
200.
I'm waiting to hear okay, he hasn't referenced we're in Southern California, so it's Southern California Edison here for light bills. He has not referenced that. He has not referenced that entity, that company. He has not
No,
referenced my name.
this is the light man.
He has not referenced my name at all. So I'm just
Right.
like, okay, this is clearly BS. So you just go. So I wanted to be. I know I could have just pressed like hang up, but I was because I was driving, so I was just hoping by simply telling him, oh, oh, don't worry, I'll just pay it off at home. Don't worry, he'll leave it alone. But he's like, sir, you cannot. And this is all being conducted in Spanish. I might add,
Right. Right.
like, sir, you can't do this. You have to pay it right now. You can't do it online because it processed too long. And then that's when I know it's complete horseshit. Like, what company gives a rat's ass about the processing? They will take your money.
It will take your money. Right.
They will take your money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so I just go, oh, and then that's when the sass came out. Wait, oh wait, is that so? He's like, yeah, you can't pay it. Oh, okay. Hold on, I have advice for you. He's like, what? And then that's when I hang up. Like my mom was in the car. She was in the back seat because I took her somewhere. She's like, is everything okay? Like you just hung up on them. Like, well, it's because
Scammer.
I did something prior in regards to the light bill. So I was just making sure I didn't give anything intensive
Yeah.
information. I wasn't naive. It's just
Yeah.
even if the red flags were immediate, I was just like I'm such a like cautious person that like maybe I did do something during the
Yeah.
registration process that hiked it up to
Yeah.
$400. It was just interesting because I'm like, yeah,
Cause
he
the
didn't.
flag in the system. You're just like, oh shit.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, it's great. He didn't say, "Yeah, I'm coming from Southern California." He even spoke Spanish off the bat. I am Hispanic, but
Right.
you still cannot assume you're gonna pick up immediately in
Yeah.
Spanish. Like for me, it's always been English. So yeah, it was hilarious, and I just the sarcasm just kicked in, and I just go, "Wait, really? Is that so? I can't pay online." Yeah. Okay, then I have advice for you. Beep. Like,
My
and
boss did something similar too to that.
what
I told you
charge
before,
for?
but I guess I haven't told it on any official recording. But someone had called him saying they were going to shut off the light too, and he's like, "No, please don't shut it off. I really need the light." And he's like, "Sorry, you need to pay this much." He goes, "Okay, all right, I'll pay it. Just can you do me a quick favor? Go to the bathroom and go shit on your hands." And he hangs up. But this
There,
is also the same boss who did a lot of other crazy shit back then. So, but still, like I think kudos to the fact you're like, oh, I have some advice for you, and then just hang up.
so
That's yeah,
I did it precisely when it sounded like I was about to say what was next. Oh, Gabriel, there was a post-credit scene in Boba Fett where he goes, and then that's when,
yeah.
like,
The
that's how I did
secret
it.
formula is
I'll just yell I don't even know what the narrator was. Yeah. A
yeah,
part of me wanted to start speaking English like really like fucking
white,
fierce and that
like
or
white.
that I could have done that too.
Who is this, and why are you speaking to me in a legal language?
That's a good one because again, his natural instinct was to answer Spanish because he just goes hola. I'm like, and I just go hola, like,
Holla, yeah.
hello. Like this is weird.
Excuse me,
And
you're scaring me.
I won't lie, since I think I start. It's even still in my registry. It's a normal phone number too from our area. Like it's not from an estranged like, because that's another
No,
thing.
that the scammers are using like localized phone numbers at this point too.
Are those rerouted? Because I was so upset
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
it was more out of sympathy, not towards like upset. Oh, why do you bother calling? Because I know better. I will just hang up, and that's it. But I randomly garnered like this frustration because what if it wasn't me? What if it was like an innocent like senior elderly person who's like, oh shoot, I guess I'll pay it right now.
Uh huh.
They do it because that's their primary
I mean,
unfortunate
it's
demographic.
something that's happened for a long
Yeah,
time though. They did it with the IRS too. That's why they're always telling you, hey, if the IRS is going to contact you, they'll send you a letter first. They won't just call you off the bat and be like, "Excuse me."
yeah.
So, but yeah, for those of you who don't know, don't. I mean, nobody answers their phones anyways. That's on you too, Haro. You should not answer your phone if it's an unknown number.
It wasn't an unknown. Oh, you mean like if I don't know it
Yeah,
myself?
like if you don't know it, like why are you answering it? I like no, don't no. If it's important, they will leave you a message, but otherwise, no. That's on you
Right.
too. Sorry, buddy.
So I had all this frustration, and considering there was a local number, I don't know if you can confirm with me how these scammers, if they can ping the number, then I'm glad I end up doing it. But considering that I garnered so much frustration and this sudden urge of sympathy towards, man, if it wasn't me, who else who would have fallen victim to this? I was gonna go online and register that phone number to like a spam, how do you call it, like mailing thing, so they get texts and promotions and relentlessly. But I thought to myself, well, do they have a method? Like, was I gonna give an
Yeah,
innocent person?
they it seems like they do that thing where I don't know what it is, but they'll get the nearest cell tower, and that's how they get your local phone number because people are more likely to pick up a local phone number than they are someone from like like when I got a call from the Hamptons. Like I don't know anyone from the Hamptons. I don't even make as much as whatever they're the people that clean their house. I don't make anywhere as near as much. So um people, but older people are more likely to pick up when it's a oh you're in a 454 area code, so then they're gonna pick up a 450 area code because they think, oh, that must be family or something, or maybe it's someone that needs me that's nearby or whatever, as opposed to oh my area code is 123 and someone's calling me from 567. Like it's just how they do it. They just chose you and that's it. But again, it's partially on you for answering your phone for an unknown number. Rule number one, Haro: don't answer the phone even when it's me. Well, no, actually, no. Only when it's me. Only when it's me do you answer the phone. Uh, well, we got 10 minutes left, so you're gonna start wrapping up. But so today we talked about the Chinese leader. We talked about Boba
Un,
Fett, and we talked
un,
about Haro scamming efforts
and unbearable fanboys.
and unbearable fanboys. What else can we talk about for these last 10 minutes? Is there anything you're looking forward to? Movies, TV, etc., etc., video
I'm
games?
actually kind of looking forward to the Uncharted movie only because of this weird exposure I've had. It's garnering like meh like reception, right?
Of course, it's a video
But
game
I'm
movie.
but I'm I'm sort of fascinated by the one person. I don't know if you get these. Like Twitter does this weird thing where like if you look up or follow certain people, topics, whatever, it'll give you kind of like a quote unquote relevant tweet.
Oh yeah, relevant topics, and yeah, I
Yeah.
saw one that was like Uncharted is the greatest movie of all time, or something like that.
Yes, yes. It was just a random person. It wasn't like it
Yeah,
wasn't like a
it
check
wasn't
mark.
someone else
Like
following or nothing. Yeah,
it was just a normal person saying, "Okay, just came out with 10 out of 10, fucking great movie." Like
blew me
I,
away.
I
This
love
is the
this
movie
guy's
that everyone
optimism.
should follow. Everyone should follow this example.
So I'm a little
Yeah,
bit
I saw
fascinated.
that too.
I'm a little bit fascinated because it was just a norm. I'm like, at least I presume. Hey, if you're someone who has like a following, I suppose my apologies, but to me it seemed like just a pretty normal person just expressing their
The guy was
thoughts.
just really happy.
Yeah,
He's like, I finally got to watch a movie. Because for a while I thought Sonic the first movie was a great movie, and then I was like, no, it's okay. But because that was the last movie I thought I'd ever see when the pandemic hit, I'm like, well, this is a movie with
this
a
is
guy.
it.
I might as well think it's a 10 out of 10 too.
You know what's
So
insane? People, I hate. It's hilarious how Sonic's notoriety with the pandemic is kind of crazy. Like I can't believe the
it
pandemic's
marks the
last.
start of it, and now it's marking like the final months of it,
Not
more or
only
less.
it's yes that, but like it boggles my mind that the pandemic has been around long enough to release two fully
Two
fledged
Sonic
Sonic
movies.
movies.
Yeah.
Not only that, but perhaps a third one because they've already confirmed the third one. Oh Lord, Sonic is the gift that keeps on giving because
And they're making a TV show on Paramount TV or Paramount Plus or whatever
and
the next
Idris
streaming
Elba
service is.
reprising his role as Knuckles.
In that show, really?
Yep, yep, it's a Knuckles TV
Wow.
show. Yes.
Wow. He's paying a lot.
I mean, and
Uh
hey, kudos on Sonic because I know Sonic when Sonic has misses, those are some pretty noticeable misses. But it seems like
it's on the up and
hopefully,
up.
yeah, hopefully in regards.
Watch these movies somehow be more successful than Mario movie, the first one or whatever,
Whatever the
whatever.
upcoming
Yeah,
Illumination one.
sure, yeah, whatever. Watch it be better, like Marvel. Oh my god, Marvel Super Mario. The Mario has dominated the video game market for like decades, and now Sonic. Watch
Sonic.
Sonic be the one that's like, in terms of between both of us, I'm taking over the movies.
I could see that because Nintendo's so protective over that. Obviously, Mario has like a.
Clearly not. They chose Chris Pratt to voice him.
That is true.
Protective of what at this point?
Of what? What? Huh? What? They don't
Of
even have
what?
Wario in the movie. How is it going to be any good?
Amazing Wario Land movie confirmed.
They could pull a Super Mario Land 2 where like he's like secretly the villain in the movie, but what do I care?
Yeah, I don't. I just kind of want to see Charlie Day as Luigi.
What would you rather be this movie like the reception like good in regards to just simply good or good in like how do you call it in an ironic way I suppose where it's
Which
like
one, Mario
the
or
Mario movie,
Sonic?
yeah. Sonic's always self-aware. That's he's just on his own planet. But the upcoming Illumination Mario film, like, do you want it to just simply be good, like a decent, animated feature, or would you not mind it being good, but like on an ironic kind of like almost meme level kind of thing? Because the cast is so absurd.
Yeah, maybe like that. Just something self-aware at this point, because you're right. The cast is so fucking bananas, bonkers. Like I would just, as long as it's a fun movie to watch, I think that's fair. Because I'm not expecting it to be this, Oscar-winning like
It's not
Diva
going to be a.
Queen
It's
flick.
yeah. It's not.
Like
I don't even.
Widows, but Super Mario. Like I don't expect that to be like
We have
that.
to infiltrate Bowser's castle.
So,
Holy shit!
so Nah, whatever. It's just as long as it's fun to watch, I guess.
Right.
As long as it's not a pain in the ass, like wow, this is really catering to little kids, just like Captain America: Winter Soldier. Because good God, that movie was horrible. What am I looking forward to? I am looking forward to
Dying Light 2. I'm gonna
having
speak.
time,
Having time.
time to finish Alan Wake, to finish streaming Spider Man, to there's no movies that I really want to go watch.
Yeah, I want to stream
Batman,
too. Oh
Batman. I
shit.
guess I look forward to Batman,
We didn't even go see Jackass either.
but no, I will make time to watch Batman, but Jackass, I'll have to. I was gonna say Jetflix.
Jeff. Jeff.
Jackass 4, I will watch whenever. I guess Uncharted, I will watch whenever. But definitely Batman is something I want to go experience in theaters, just because I
It's
think I've seen
freaking.
every Batman movie in theaters
It's
since
freaking
The Dark
Batman.
Knight. So at least I have, because I never saw Batman Begins in theaters. I had to wait till that movie came out because I didn't know it existed. So
Yeah, I remember The Dark Knight for me was the first movie that where
so
I needed to follow that phenomenon. So I was happy to see it during that summer it came out.
So for sure, I'm gonna have to. I want to go see Robert Pattinson and just actually like. It seems like that's gonna be my movie of the year in terms of not like it's the best movie, but like I think that's the only movie I can think of in 2022 that's coming out that I'm looking forward to. Uh, because I can't really think of anything else. Anyways, we are coming up on an hour, so Hiro and I will try to do this thing where try to dedicate every podcast episode to something. And in this episode, I'd like to dedicate this episode, this February episode, to something very special that's actually been doing me and Hiro, I think, a huge favor, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and it is, it's a time of love. So we're all thinking red, right? So I'd like to dedicate this episode to the red backpack that Hiro has that is holding my copy of Beyond Two Souls. Because fuck David Cage and the Quantic Dreams team and whatever Star Wars game they're
I'm
starting
sorry.
that whatever Star
Oh
Wars game
Lord, give David Cage
that
Sonic,
uh,
please.
whatever Star Wars game that they're working on that hasn't actually been started on or something like that. So yeah, I'd like to dedicate this episode to that red backpack that for some reason I gave that copy to him and
It's been stored away in
I refuse
this.
to ever take it back. It's like it's a cursed object. It's the Annabelle of video games. I refuse to have it. So it's in a protective case.
It
Hyro's red
is
backpack.
my
So
red
that is
backpack.
what I am dedicating this episode to. Hyro, what are you gonna dedicate this episode to?
Well, I want to dedicate this episode to Gabriel's old. I don't know who it belonged to. I don't know which parent of yours. His space boots, and I know that doesn't have any
My dad.
context to any of you. But Gabriel just sent me back today when he sent me this picture. He was at his clinicals, as he stated earlier in the episode.
Oh, just for legal reasons, I sent him a picture of an empty wheelchair, not a patient, nothing super personal. It was just just for legal reasons because I know
Oh wait,
technically you can get in trouble.
that's
It was
something
literally
from
just a
there.
wheelchair. It was just a wheelchair.
I thought you saw it online. I didn't know it was like an.
No, no. It was in the activities room of this place I'm doing my clinicals at. It was in the corner. There was no patient information. It was just a wheelchair I saw. And
I didn't know that.
I texted it to Hiro. This is giving me Professor X vibes.
I thought you just saw
Just
it
to,
online. Because you're like that. You get fixated on like certain images or something that you just find hilarious. So I
no,
didn't.
this is what I saw in real life.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I know that should have been one for one. I get, but like it looks so. It looks so like you're right. It looked like something from X Men. I didn't think you saw it in person. I thought you were just like so. Like I'm gonna give a teaser quickly before I proceed with the space boots thing. Hopefully we can like reference this in a future episode. Like I said, Gamer gets fascinated by the most randomest things that he finds hilarious, and he'll just laugh like a maniac to himself. So here's a teaser for something upcoming because I'll recreate it. I don't have the original. If I find the original, I'll share it at some point. But Gabriel one time out of the blue, because I'm like the photo editor between us. So there obviously when Gabriel needs something for either his stuff, our stuff, conjoined, I'll do it like thumbnails, etc. But one time I thought he was coming up to me for something he needed regarding the channel for himself. but it wasn't. He randomly came up to me and just texted me, "Can you do me a favor with the Photoshop job?" Like, yes. Can you Photoshop? I don't even know his name. It's the dude from Jurassic Park. What I don't know the actor's name, but it's the dude from Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Photoshop
Sam Neill.
Photoshop Sam Neill on the cover of Goldeneye.
That was for a video though. That was when we
Was
were
it?
doing movie reviews. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
was.
even
It's when we
then,
did the shitty movie review for Event Horizon.
just why you particularly you lose your shit when you look at it. I still don't
I
get it.
do because it looks just like Pierce Brosnan. The one movie, or sorry, the one still you chose of him looks exactly like Pierce Brosnan to me. That I just recreate that whole movie, the whole GoldenEye movie, as a Walmart version of itself, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, but but you held on to it for the longest time, and sometimes you would occasionally send it to me and just lose your shit, and and, like it's so weird because I felt like Ethan Suplee. I forgot. I think that's his name. Randy from My Name Is Earl. I
Right,
felt
right,
like
right.
his character in Mallrats, staring at the fucking painting and not getting it, and just like, okay, I guess there's something I clearly don't see. But for a while,
No, I guess you didn't grow up with either Jurassic Park
I
or
did it.
GoldenEye,
I
so I
did
guess
it.
you don't get it. But like for me,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah.
So yeah, Gabriel was. I lost my point. That
Anyways,
like
you're dedicating to space boots.
space roots. Yeah. So I'm dedicating to the space roots because it's an early exposure of like how comfortable I was. Because this was when I first saw them. It was visiting Gabriel's house when we first met. So I wasn't that quite loosey goosey in regards to like making a joke like that because I thought it'd be offensive. Like, oh, what if it's like something
Right.
it
Something
helps.
medical or some bullshit.
Yeah,
Some bullshit.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I remember I saw it on three separate occasions, and like on the third or fourth time, I just stared at them because they were still in the same spot. They were untouched in the same spot in his house. I'm just gonna say it. Hey, Gabriel, nice space boots. And then he just turned to them, and we both started laughing because they were legit just these honk of like boots. They're just like these rocket boots. Stood and then they just sent you upwards. That's what's funny because I was so glad I brought it up because you lost it. Like, okay, good. I'm not the only one. Thank God.
For those who don't know, the space boots he's referring to is that. So we met right after high school. So this is when he was still going to my mom and dad's house. For Christmas, I think my mom or my grandma or someone gave my dad those things that you put your feet in and they massage your feet and your calves, but they look like space boots. But I
Imagine.
never thought of it that way until I was said nice space boots, and they were sitting upright.
Oh, shit. My laptop is falling. I'm
They
laughing.
were. It also helped that they were like metallic on the side too, so they
Yes.
did look like straight.
I don't know. This might be like obscure to reference, but I hope folks out there are familiar with like dollar store like robot toys
Right.
that have like plastic wheels underneath, and they just like just roll around briefly and make blinking lights and little robot
Yeah.
noises.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they look like. You know how the feet are fused together?
If I put my feet in, I'm just gonna start rolling around.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make little police sirens.
And these things were massive. Like these are clearly something like Buzz Lightyear would wear. Like, what is this? So you can say that was the catalyst of just like camaraderie regarding like
Holy
anything.
shit!
If anything looked like something, I'm gonna say it, or vice versa. So
Oh fuck me!
that's how I want to dedicate those space boots because Gabriel sent me apparently a real wheelchair that he saw. I didn't like a random one.
Yes, it was a real wheelchair that I saw. I was just when I got to clinicals this morning, I was looking at it and staring at it. I'm like, what is this giving me? And I didn't realize when I sent it to Jairo later that day, oh, this is giving me X-Men vibes. Oh fuck.
Which gave me the space boots vibes. Like when someone lands back, you sit back in your like in your chair to like recharge. I don't know. I just
Oh man.
it took
Okay.
me back.
Alrighty. Well, we've hit our hour mark. We don't want to go longer than that because I don't know why. An hour is good. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. You can always find Jairo at jairorobo not dot com at jairorobo on Twitter. Jairobo. You can find me at Gabriel, my name Gabriel, and then my first three letters of my last name RAM. The Gabriel Ram on Twitter. You can find the same thing on Letterboxd too. I've been super active on there. Jairo just recently put a review on there of Scream, which is pretty insightful.
The original, not
The
the new one.
original Scream, yeah, which is pretty insightful. I actually read that before I watched the movie, so I dug it. You can also follow us on Instagram at Gabriel and Jairo Play, and you can also follow us on TikTok, which is I think the same thing, Gabriel
It's
and
the
Jairo
same
Play,
thing.
or if it's just Gabriel Jairo Play, something like that. But if you find us on Instagram, there's the links there, and I always post the TikToks on my own Twitter too, so you'll find it. And I'm sure it'll be in the description below. You can also find Hyro streaming from time to time. What's your handle? Same thing, right? Hyro
Same
Robo.
thing.
Same thing,
Yeah.
yeah. Jaro, Hyro Robo, Robo. So, and then you can follow me as Grizzly Gabriel, which is how people tend to just mispronounce my name. So Grizzly, Grizzly, and then Gabriel. So Grabriol. Again, all these links are in the bottom in our description. We appreciate you taking the time to kind of just listen, talk to. You're not. You guys aren't talking to us. You listening to us talk absolute nonsense, bullshit, and probably say some very inflammatory things. Um, but as always, thank you. And again, today is February 17th, 2022. Hopefully, we have a chance to record in March 2022. All right, that's it. See you later.
So